Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ATA at Above the Apex GP2 division. We've got some F1 action around the circuit of Hungary. So after a quite interesting race in Silverstone last time out, we did have a few issues, but I can tell you that the winner of the race was Frantique, followed by Floodlines, and then Portel, all closely followed between each other. I should have Craig Senna joining me very soon, but we are currently in the lobby waiting for the drivers to be ready for us to start. 16 drivers here tonight, so that's pretty good turnout, and let's hope for some good racing action. Let's hope for no problems, obviously. Few people bouncing in and out of parties at the moment, I think, because of the microphone next to their name. But yes, we shall be ready very shortly. Hope everyone is okay. Obviously this weekend, well, the weekend that I am broadcasting this is the weekend of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in real life F1, obviously, and yeah, it's going to be the end of another season which Mercedes were pretty much dominant, especially towards the end. Lewis Hamilton eventually the title winner, and Abu Dhabi, well, I don't know what to expect for this weekend's race. Of course, I'm going to watch it live, and we'll just see what happens. What were both the drivers and the constructors finished up? It really just depends how the drivers are going to act. I mean they're professional. They're not obviously going to bash into each other. Oh, it's the last race, let's just wreck each other out, because they won't do that. But yeah, so could be quite an interesting race. I think the Mercedes are going to dominate once again. All the Ferraris and the Red Bulls will be up there. I'm kind of hoping for an interesting race. I'm kind of hoping for a surprise result. Maybe the Force Indias on the podium, or one of the Force Indias anyway. Maybe Massa in his last race can get something. I don't know. But we should be ready soon. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't started already, but should be ready up, of course. So 50% race, short qualifying. And I believe it's around 20 odd laps. 25, 26, I think. Dynamic weather, so we may see some wet weather tonight. Sorry if I sound a little bit old, a little bit croaky-ish on my throat. I've had that for the last week. So today I seem to be okay, but yeah, so apologies for that. So just bear with us for a few minutes while we get ready. I think we might possibly be waiting for somebody to join, because one of the drivers has just come online, so it is interesting, because normally we don't wait for people to arrive, but yeah, it seems we are. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to send a message out. There we are. Yes, that's Jake Piper. We're waiting on for the Sauber teammate for Hobo. So I believe that should be it, and we should be ready up quite shortly. My normal compatriot Craig Senna should be coming to us very soon. Well, yes, we are making 2 minutes apparently. Yes, my usual co-commentator Craig Senna might be joining us later. It depends on that. He's currently FIFA. That's the crave of FIFA at the moment. But we are readying up now, so we're going to have a qualifying session underway very shortly. And let's hope for a nice, good Grand Prix. So we're going to have 17 drivers here tonight. It's going to be brilliant stuff. And this track of the Hungary has produced some good races, especially in league racing. It's not very easy to overtake, so qualifying can be quite essential. Tyre wear around this track is pretty heavy, so might expect a few troubled stops and all that. So strategy is going to be key. As I said, wet weather is a bit of a possibility around this track. Can be done. Plus, we also have the thing of a safety car, because we do have the safety car back on for this lead now. So we might see a few incidences of that. Let's wait on 2 drivers to go through the loading screen, and then we can get in, and we'll see what conditions we have got for qualifying. And I've just noticed we have got our first viewer, so welcome to you. Yes, I cannot see who it is, and I cannot see what you put onto the chat screen, but welcome to the stream itself. Yes, we are going to be underway very shortly for the qualifying session, and then obviously have the race straight after, bearing in mind any problems. I had to skip through that because of the copyright on YouTube. You can't go through the whole of that opening sequence with the F1 logo, otherwise the video gets put down, so always have to skip through that. We're waiting for the drivers now, a grid of 17 drivers, and it is dry! Okay, so that's a good start. So that's me get the things all set. We want the leader, shall we, or fastest lap? Fastest lap, yep. And the tyres, because there are a few people going onto the soft tyres actually, so that could be quite interesting. See who's going to go out first. So we've got HLG and Joran on the soft tyres, interestingly. See what they can do on there. And we've got a Toro Rosso coming out first, by the looks of it. Who is it? Who's in the Toro Rosso? I think it's Joran, actually. It is. So Joran is going to be out first on the soft tyres for his outlap. Drivers is a very good turnout, I must say, for GP2. It's good to see that these drivers are committed to the cause. Lovely nice little helmet for him, Joran, a little bit of shade of orange on the side there. That's good for him. A few drivers coming down the route. Like, see the Renault, I think it was F1 Acer in the background, as well as a Ferrari. Master Krog also, he's one of the top drivers. I say one of the top drivers, one of the fastest drivers in the division based on previous performance. He's also going on the soft tyres. He drives for Red Bull at the moment. As Joran is completing his outlap there now. Craig, did you win? Yay. Well done to you. Okay, so you might... Oh, as Joran... Lovely camera angle of him flying into the penultimate corner, drifting sideways. Interesting line by Joran, but he's going to be the first to complete a lap, and he goes across. Well, it's his outlap. Why am I even bothering? Jesus Christ. Come on, Michael. Right, so he's beginning his lap now. As we go now into pass through turn 1, up through the gears with the first of the DRS sections. Going into turn 2, must keep the apex, but don't touch the apex actually, because that curve can throw you sideways flat through turn 3, with no braking at all. And now into the blind corner up here for the left, taking it quite nicely. As we're going into the second sector of the lap. This chicane coming up here might cause people a few problems. The curbs are quite vicious, and he is very, very cautious actually as he goes through there. Doesn't want to touch the curbs at all. Now this part here, the left and the right of the S section, is all about stability. Keep the car planted onto the floor, especially this last corner here. You really want to take it flat. And again, he had to break off a little bit. So this may not be the fastest lap you will see tonight, but obviously he wants to get a banker on the soft tyres and see where he is. continue on the strategy, but he's coming around to complete his lap now. It's going to be the first to set a lap. One driver in the pits at the moment, which is F1 Acer, which is good to see, as a 121.0 is the first lap. So if I join on the soft tyres. It's a good one initially. I presume you put the tick next to your name.
Yep.
So what kind of lap times are you expecting from these guys?
Probably like a 118, 119.
Well, Frantique's an 18.6, who has just been absolutely smashed by Bultel. A 117.9. Ouch.
Oh, wow.
17.9. Where does that come from? Bultel. Hey, well, he is one of the fastest in the division, but wow. Massive gap over himself and Frantique. That's brilliant. 0.6 of a second. Wow. Pull that out. And you've left.
Yeah, put me straight back to the home menu.
Oh dear.
So try again.
Quite a few drivers have said that Krog has gone second on the soft tyres, an 18.5, so that's pretty decent from himself. Pretty good. But Bulltown, a 17.9, that's definitely a pretty big gap. As Fast Putttown has retired, has he crashed it? He has. Whoa, a Sauber. A Sauber's next to him. I hope that Sauber of oh, I don't think that was the Sauber
was a big contact with Dom and the Sauber.
Yeah, Jake was the Sauber. I don't know whether the Sauber hit Dom, but the Sauber was next side, and the front wing has gone flying off with lots of debris. I do hope there's no problems there. As we welcome the 2 viewers to the stream so far. So Dom is not going to be taking any more part in qualifying on a 20.3 on his lap. Hope nothing happened between the two of them, but I'm sure we'll find out later. As Bulltail returns to the pits. Anybody else on the lap? Ades has gone 5th on a 19.1 on the Super Softs. That's pretty good. Somebody else has just jumped up, I believe. No, that's Hobo, I think, on a 20.7. Puts him 12th currently. So dry qualifying. Dry qualifying for now, Craig, but do you expect any wet weather for the race? I mean, Hungary is floating up a couple of times.
Can rain on the odd occasion.
Oh, Bart has had
I'm in. God.
Bart has had a spin there somewhere. How he's done that. There's a tyre barrier in the background which is a bit crumpled, and then it's almost like a muted tyre barrier. So that's a bit concerning to see. Let's have a look on Krog, who's actually doing another lap on the soft tyres. See as it comes around. Yeah, there's a tyre barrier on my screen doing the donut. Or doing a dance. Doing donuts, what are you talking about? And let's have a look at Krog as he goes round the middle sector of the lap. Very decent time on the soft tyres. He's definitely got some pace round here, but I don't know, would you want to start on the softs?
I'd want to try and get as high as possible because it's not the easiest track to overtake. I think qualifying is very important here.
You left again. What is going on with yours? Says Krog. Whoa, Dave left.
It says Skyline's left and right, and Dart's left.
No, you have.
I'll try again.
Wow, your connection's all over the place. Krog, meantime, going into the pits, well, he went too fast and just completely slid back out again. And I believe he's got no fuel, so that's going to hamper him massively in this qualifying session with 4 minutes to go. I think he does have time. And in fact, he's retired, so well, he feels that's it. So 18.5 for Krog, that's going to be it on the soft tyres. He's sticking that strategy. I mean, different. Interesting. As Frantic now goes into turn 1, has Mercedes in front of him. That was ghosting, but then unghosts. I don't know what that was all about. It might be Bulltail coming out there. Guy Cunnington in the other Mercedes on the 19.7, currently 7th place. Midfield relatively close between one another, but the front three just almost in a class of their own. As Frantic once again, we're going down through the middle sector. Again, it's all about there's that dancing tyre barrier, so that's very concerning, just jumping up and all down. As Frantic, this car just looks very, very stable for the middle sector, much more planted. See if you can take the last corner. Yes, the brakes slightly, which I think you still do, depending on the line that you take into there.
Yep.
As he now comes through to the final few corners. Got to be careful with that one there, because it goes downhill slightly before you turn in. Can really catch you out. A few people jumping in and out of the lobby, which is not great to see. As Frantic now crossing the line. Is it going to be a 17? It's a 17.9. It goes second. Just 0.028 off of Bulltail. Well, he tried his best, but wow. Okay, so Frantic has tried, and he's just not done enough. Speaking of jumping sideways, HRG's car doing a merry jig, as it always seems to do. Only on soft tyres like what Krog did, but has now gone onto the super soft. See how much he jumps by. He was very confident about this track earlier. He said about he found a setup he was very confident with, so he seems happy, but he needs to put the car good on the grid. His teammate currently is outshadowing him by a second, so he needs to get up there.
Big difference.
How's your game going? Are you going to be able to jump in?
I'm hoping I'm in.
Oh, right. Skyline really, really trying to get everything out of this time and slid. I can't really tell actually, because the timing on the broadcast is kind of over, like whoever joins or not. Bulltail.
Boss man at the moment.
Bulltail improves to a 17.8. So he's moved the barrier a little bit further forward. Floodlines has gone third on an 18 flat. But that's good. So Bulltail's now retired. He set the marker. He feels happy. Ryan improves to a 19.3, stays P7. As we've got 60 seconds left in qualifying, is there anybody really could challenge that? 80s goes 5th on an 18.7. Goes ahead of Maddie, who by the way has retired. So 80s is jumping up there with good qualifying sessions. Pretty good. Honey Badger retires. Anybody else that really could challenge? HRG's jumping sideways. Still. Hobo.
He's lower than I thought he would be.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot more lower. Floodlines, I think, really is the only realistic shot to try and beat Bulltail. He's going to prove his time by 2 attempts. Slided it sideways. Oh, nearly. Just about caught it. Can he cross the line? It's going to be... This is a good lap, actually. A 17... 17.9! No! He somehow gets in between Frantic and Bulltail to go on the front row. Great last lap. He's second on mine.
Oh no, it's updated. Oh, it's updated on my drive, yeah.
Never mind. So, we just got a few drivers left on their laps. HRG's retired 13th at best for HRG. He's not going to be happy with that at all.
Well, Krog's going to have to be one to watch out for, and starting 4th on the softs.
Yeah, very interesting. What Krog's got to make sure is he doesn't get passed by the people behind him, like 80s, Maddie, and Skyline, because they're quite close on the tyres and on the faster tyres. So he's got to be very careful with that. As Bart retires, whoa, went sideways with a wheel hanging off. So he's at a barrier somewhere. That's his qualified over after starting. He's going to start P16. Bossman and Joran are the only two really on a lap. Floodlines is as well, but I don't think he has enough fuel or tyres really to do it. So let's see where Bossman goes. It's going to be an improvement, is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. He stays 10th. Joran actually goes ahead of him into 10th. So Bossman will be the first on a new set of tyres. That is, of course, if it doesn't rain. But I believe that is the qualifying session over.
Well, I don't think it will rain because Krog would have not qualified on the softs if it did rain.
No, unless he hasn't checked, obviously.
Yeah.
There's always that. But the grid is going to be Bultel in the Mercedes, pole position. What?
We're losing to Cologne. I think I'm very qualified.
Forget about Arsenal, forget about football for 2 seconds. F1's here right now. So Bultel takes the pole position ahead of Floodlines with that great last lap by the McLaren driver. Floodlines goes into second place, just ahead of Frantique, who goes into third. Krog, as you said, is going to be one to watch on the soft tyres. It'll be interesting to see where he fits in. He's only just ahead of A6180s. I'm quite impressed with him in 6th place, as someone has now retired to finish the session. Bossman, as we saw, getting to 11th place on the grid. You'll have 3 set of tyres. Let's run through the rest of the grid now. Mannyman, Indy Williams in 6th. IGG Skyline 7th, just ahead of Honey Badgers, so the Haas drivers close to one another. Guy Cunnington in 9th in the Mercedes, with Joran rounding out the top 10. And then it's Bossman in 11th, being pipped by Joran at the end there. Dom in 12th. HLG will be highly disappointed with that in 13th. And then the 2 Saubers and the Force India of Bart. F1 Acer was jumping in and out of the lobby, but starts at the back. Let's see what he can do from there. But the front 3, well, based on qualifying anyway, Craig, the front 3 seem to have a jump on the rest. But we'll be just interested to see what Krog does.
It's the main contenders for the championship. I'm surprised they're up there. Okay, why is my game messing up?
Honey Badger's readied up already. That's not a great sign. He normally doesn't, so he's probably forgotten. He will get a penalty, I'm afraid, for that. But
I'm a bit worried because I don't even have the text to my name. I just got arrows, green and red arrows going up and down.
I think yours is messing up quite a bit because you jumped in and out. It's not really working, but we're going to get started for the race around Hungary. Let's hope we have no problems at all on the start and in the first lap or so. As we go, ready for 5 lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and everyone has started. No, there were slow starts. There's lag. I mean, there must have been a lag start here. Drive-through penalty. There's front wing. And the Tauros of 80s has taken the lead. There's 5 wide into turn 2, and contact with the Haas.
Oh my god.
It's chaos.
Oh, I think we're going to have a restart. Oh my god, it's going down. What the hell is going on here?
It is absolute chaos, and yeah, it's going to get a restart. Fantastic. Fantastic Southerners, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, I thought it was my screen, but thank god it wasn't. Yeah, that was chaos. I saw a car flipping upside down.
Well, that is a big shame to see, and it's not what you want to see. But I think it was just a start, or maybe with Honey Badger readying up so quickly as he did, it caught a few drivers out. But oh my goodness me.
Oh, no one else is left at the moment, but Bloodline's car gets lag at the moment.
And HLG has confirmed to me we are having a restart of the race lobby.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but even so, that first corner was appalling. Absolutely appalling. There was contact all over the place. Lag start or not. So, yeah, so we had the Toro Rosso made the jump, but he obviously had no fault at all. But then we had somebody hit the Haas, I believe it must have been Skyline, into the end, and he went back across to the midfield and caused them. Somebody hit the Toro Rosso into turn 1, completely missed his brakes. I think it might have been a Mercedes or Bultel, and there's just everything from there. But and safety car, but you know, we're restarting, so that
was absolute chaos.
They're not normally like that. Not normally like that at all. And we're going to go back into the lobby now. So, apologies guys, but sometimes that happens. I think the lag start just loaded them out. And obviously we don't want that, so we want as clean a start as possible for this race. But it happens sometimes, and we are professional. We have to keep to the restart. Right, so bear with us guys, I'm just sending off a few messages.
I'm stuck on a Jordan session.
Same. Right, there we go.
I'm still stuck on it.
Give it a moment, it took a while for me.
There we go.
I was gonna say to Ryan, or one of them, tell everyone to jump to the home page first and restart their game before going.
Why does this happen all the time?
Not all the time. Give it a moment. There we go. Right, there we are. Seems to be sorting itself out. Does seem to be every week now. It's ridiculous. I suppose they had
I don't know what
no.
happens with this league.
I suppose they had no alternative to restart, but still.
Yeah. Well, they had to, because it basically destroyed half the field.
Right, so this is just for YouTube purposes. So if you are watching this on YouTube, obviously skip forward till when we start the race. So yes, we obviously had a lag start. So what we are doing now is we're just setting up the grid so we could just go from the race. So we don't have to do qualifying again, which is a great feature to have, thank goodness. Otherwise, it'd be quite interesting. But yes, so if you're watching this on YouTube, please skip forward on the video until the race, and then we'll go from there. Obviously, this shouldn't take too long, or I hope it doesn't. I think everyone's back anyway. I think.
Oh, we have 17.
Did we have 17? Yes, so who's missing?
Missing one.
Obo.
Missing one.
No, not Obo, Jake. Oh. Who isn't here? Both Ferrari's here. F1 and Acer. Yeah, it's F1 and Acer. No, F1's Acer here. Who's missing?
Let's have a look.
Oh no, it's alright now. It's alright now. It might have been John,
yeah,
because
well,
he's just joined now.
probably.
Well, Craig, we got a quiz afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah, so I've got, how many questions I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 56. Jesus, I got 23. I think I might have gone overboard.
Bloody hell.
23 is alright, isn't it? It's a good number. If you get a good turnout, it's alright.
It's an odd number.
Yeah, should have thought of one more. All I would say is if you obviously had to do different questions from last night, and the night previously, so obviously I went up to a certain page on the first lot of questions. So for these lot, I went from that page onwards, and basically I've exhausted that book now. There are probably others there, but I tried to sort of variety the questions, and I think I've done quite well. They're old, they're new. There's ones about tracks, ones about races, one about drivers. There's ones about teams as well. I'm happy with the teams one. There are some fiendish questions in this. Really fiendish. There's some really, really big questions in this one.
Well, let's get this race started. I'm gonna get back on FIFA. Come on.
You're obsessed with that, aren't you?
I am. I want to try and do the best. I want to crack on with squad battles. Done 4 now.
Yeah. I
Still can't believe you got Mustafi.
I could not believe that. I'm gutted you weren't at your mic when I got him, because we ran about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Should have messaged me. Should have let me know.
Well, I jumped into the party where you and Ryan was, and obviously you two weren't responding. And I just started opening packs with the music, and I got company first.
I left my Xbox on instant talk. You got company as well. Betty hell.
Yeah, I got company first. I'm actually not using him. It's weird. Company first, then I got Mo Salah, and just gradually going through premium gold packs, and then I opened one, and then it came up with Mustafi, and I was like,
but he's the 7,500 one.
Yeah, it was.
How many packs did you open?
I'm sad enough to say I spent $79.99.
Oh, you spent that one.
12,000 points, yeah.
Well, I spent about 60, 70 quid, so that's alright, yeah.
Yeah.
So you must have loads of contracts
and then as I was,
loads of money.
As I was opening up the premium gold packs, the double-sized ones just appeared. I started opening that, and it was that when I got Marquisio, Bonucci, David Silva. He had a couple other good ones. Yeah,
I didn't realise that. I'm going.
Right, so we are.
Oh, we're ready to go. Right, good.
Yes, we are ready to go. So, unfortunately, the 2 viewers that we did have on the stream have disappeared. Don't really blame them, to be fair. But let's get started. Why is that taking a long time? Oh dear.
Oh dear.
That took quite a while. That's never a good sign. It's great. The one time that I'm actually up for doing this and really keen and motivated, things go wrong. I should just be demotivated all the time to do this, because that's when things don't go wrong.
Yeah.
Seems to be the case lately.
Oh well, let's just see how long it takes for all this text to come up. Then I'll know if it's
I didn't see whether he put it on clear or not. I would assume that he did, because there was no rain. He's very adamant about that. So this is the next problem that we had, was the amount of time that we're waiting in here. But obviously, I think with this is the game is putting everyone in that order that they've set, and obviously that takes time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you have race only and just a grid. But
Yeah.
it's taking a bit of a longer time than I would like.
This is worrying.
Come on, gentlemen. Come on.
This is why I don't play this game.
It's doing something. There we go. There we go.
Got some ticks. We got some ticks.
Hey.
Thank God.
They're coming up. They're coming up. We just got 3.
I just
now we
hope
got all of
everybody's
them.
up straight away to get all the setups ready.
Almost guarantee someone will.
Yep, especially when you need to do your strategy and your setup now. Let's get
Oh,
on
that was slow. That was slow. Okay. Keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning. There we go, there we go. Well, as suspected, he has put it on clear, which is... I knew he would do that, which is, obvious. But hello to the one viewer, yay! I don't know whether you're one from before, but hello if you are or you're not. But yes, we are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix race of the GP2 division of ATA. As it always seemed to be the case, we had an issue at the start of the race, a lag start, which seems to be the thing with this game. Reset the lobby, so everyone's in the same positions as they were before, so let's run that down now. Bulltail is on pole with Floodline 2nd, Frantique 3rd, Mastercog 4th. Then it's 80s, Matty GB, Skyline, Honey Badger, Guy Cunnington in 9th, then Joran Bossman, Part-Time, HLG, Jenkins, Bart Acer, and Jake Piper is the 17 drivers that we have here this evening. Now the next thing I would like to know is, will everyone start on the tyres that they qualified on? The answer is no. Because Master Grog was the only one on soft tyres, and I see Matty GB, I see Guy, I see Bossman, I see... yeah, it's Guy and Matty. Obo's actually started on the mediums. As F1 Acer unfortunately has left the session. That's a shame for him. Let's hope he jumps back in. Well, we're going to be ready for the start for this. Round 10? I think it is? I think it's round 10. Anyway, so, let's go for 5
Oh no.
Formation lap! Oh, here we go.
What?
Normally a formation lap on. Never mind.
Formation lap.
Yeah, it is.
You sure?
It is. They wouldn't... right, they're going to single file.
I'm just not used to seeing a formation lap myself.
Threw me a bit, because I didn't think they would do that.
Fair enough. Okay, that caught me by surprise as well.
Now when it says being disqualified from the session, that's just being disqualified from the formation lap because you can't behave.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
At least I hope, anyway. Let me get my thing, all these things ready. So I need the leader, I need tyres. Do I need... I don't know. I don't know what detail to have. Let's have tyres, why not? Let's have interval.
Well, no,
I like interval.
Crocs on the softs.
Obo on mediums, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But it's interesting, we don't normally have formation lap. That's what threw me. I thought it was another lag start, but it's a formation lap, so...
Yeah, I got worried then.
Whether he meant to do that is another question, but... oh well, we'll go for it. And as I said, I thought the drivers would start on the tyres they did from the first session, and Matty and Guy have not done that, but... Anyway, we've got the...
It's interesting. Nice to have a split strategy anyway with certain drivers, so it'll be interesting.
Yes, indeed. So let's get ourselves ready for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We've got a slight thrown because of the formation lap, but we are here ready. The drivers are all there. It's a nice little view down to turn 1.
Come on, please, 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 please. Let's not have a lag start.
And I'm going to do this. Oh, never mind. So we have 5 lights and...
Oh no.
A few haven't started again. Oh my Jesus Christ. There we go. And Bultel disqualified from the session. Oh. Don't get me another restart.
What is going on with this game?
Ryan's in the lead. Oh my word. Why? They probably will. And Ryan's jumping about loads, but he's actually taken the lead from the start. I don't know how he's done that.
Oh, Ryan.
I'm not sure. Not sure whether they're restarting or not. They seem to be keep on going, but so we'll carry on from this. So let's have a, as I said, again,
but he's jumping
twice.
about on mine. Oh, he's gone off on mine.
Yeah, his connection's not great at all. And he never seems to do that, so I don't think the lobby's that great. Bultel is going to be absolutely furious with that. With a jump start, which really wasn't his fault. As Quog's all over the back of Frantig. He's got floodlines right behind him as well. And it's the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Ryan, as I said, has got the lead. He's got his teammate Honey Badger in 5th, which is great. Hobo from 14th up to 9th as a Frantig. Whoa, what's happened there? Frantig all of a sudden...
What's happened? I can't watch Skylines figure after that.
Frantig on 9 is retired.
Penalty. What?
What is going on?
Yeah, I'm mine as well.
Yeah, Frantic retired. On my screen, he just jumped off to the right and his tyre hit the wall. Oh, this is jumping about. This is...
Well, I think it's still carrying on, because there's only 2 people gone. That's Patel and Frantic.
Yeah, not for very good reasons, though. That's the only thing that concerns me. Joran 5... There are people being screwed over. That's...
Yeah.
That's straight up what is going on. People speeding the pit. They fast part-time. He was in 5th at one point. He's just got off the track to let... Well, I don't think he let HLG through, but he's up there in 5th. Bossman in 7th. There have been a lot of
well, Cunnington's
changes.
now got a 5 seconds stop-go penalty.
Who has?
Guy Cunnington.
Yeah. No problems as Bossman is looking all over the back of fast part-time. Can he go on the inside? HLG pausing the game, I think, for some reason. Oh! Slide there. There's a constant up screen as Hobo gets another penalty for gaining a place after corner cut, I believe, as Bossman has got past part-time. Part-time's dropping back down through the field. In 7th place. Floodlines is all over the back of Master Cog. The battle for the podium. And Skyline, despite taking the lead, interestingly, still have no idea how. No offense to you, Ryan. Oh, as Floodlines are sideways. He got attached to the curb on the inside, and that's got him sideways. HLG, can he capitalise here? Go right on the outside, and he does. Into, well, 2nd it says apparently. What is going on? I don't know.
My leaderboard keeps changing about now. Apparently Jay Piper's in the lead on mine.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I have no idea anymore. Right.
I know Scott Ryan's still winning. I know that.
Yes, he is. Again, no offence to him, I'm just surprised. Don't take it offensively, Ryan, when you watch this later as Floodlines. Whoa. Floodlines is... Yeah, he's got HLG jumping about all over in front of him. connection of this is not the best at all, it must be said. The Floodlines is looking there. There's a Haas first and third. Right.
I know, I
See
can't believe
this.
it.
Position change. There you go. Ryan up 6. Mastercog up 2. Honey Badger up 5. HLG up 9. Dom up 6. Jake Piper up 7. It's an indication, basically, of what has happened. So, take stock here.
This is great. This is great for Krog because he's in second on the sides, and with his main title rivals out as well, and the Floodline's having some problems. So.
It is good. Yeah, the leaderboard is just having a meltdown.
It's flicking around now. Yeah, Floodline's in the lead on mine again now. He's flicking up.
Not great at all. It's not great at all. What I should have said to Ryan is I should have said to everyone, restart your game and put it to the home page before starting up, because that sometimes solves the issue if there's been a lag start.
Yeah.
Because it just resets it. We're basically going under the same connection that we had in the first race. There's Honey Badgers putting Krog under a bit of pressure here now. As Floodlines is now into 4th. HLG on my screen just jumped off into the barriers and is just go back up to the front as Honey Badger is going to have the DRS. In fact, Krog has the DRS on the back of Brian for second place now. And Honey
gonna get him
again. Krog is jumping up and down. And how he goes on the inside. Done. Yes, we have a Haas 1-2.
I think it's sensible by Krog though, because as he's on the slower tyres, there's no point need to fight too much at the moment.
Indeed. Question is now, is Honey Badger the faster on the 2? In fact, I can take a look. And
I think he is.
And yes, he is, by a full second. So, team orders. As again, the leaderboard goes as a mental craziness. There's yellow flags everywhere as well, which is not brilliant. But obviously, I think the positions on the screen that you see now are what they are. It's just the gaps change up and down as Matty GP is all over the back of Dom. Jesus, Dom is holding up a train. Dom is in 7th, holding up a train of cars. He's got Matty and Bossman right behind him. He goes wide. Only Matty can have a look here. Every time I go onto the TV pod, the connection of everyone is jumping sideways. It's not great, and Matty look on the inside. Oh, no gives in the room. Ah. And Matty's trying to go around the outside here. Not looking, just trying to every which way possible. Got to be careful behind him.
To the lead here, Honey Badger. Go around the outside. Skyline. Is he going to get him?
Oh.
He has. He's done it.
Don't make any contact with your teammate. And he's through, but is that going to interrupt Ryan? There he goes. Oh, and he goes wide.
Oh.
Going sideways again. What are we doing? Camera. Can't see. Honey Badger's back in front. Oh. Calm it down, you two. You've got a Red Bull all over the back of you. Let's sort that out. Right, so Honey.
Better on the outside. He's got him.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Oh no, he's got off. Krog's got off.
No, he hasn't.
He's hit the wall. Hasn't he?
No.
There he is. Oh. Migrating
Yes,
host. I've left, haven't I?
No.
Oh no, Skyline's left.
No.
What? I've lost everything. Oh, I think I'm out. Yeah, I've left the lobby. So.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, this is...
Right, so Honey Badger's now in the lead. Krog is now pressurising Skyline. Yes, you have there. So, this is the thing with these two. They're going to sort of work together to try and get the gap over Krog, because Krog is in a wonderful position right now, right behind the leaders and on the soft tyres. So all he has to do is stick with them. And then when he gets clean air, just put in the fastest laps he can and try and get past them. Floodlines is gradually catching up to all of them because he's on the super softs. 80's in 5th. And then you got HLG, who's the next guy on the soft tyres, just ahead of his teammate, who's in 7th. Dom is holding down 8th. Good for him. As Bossman is into the pits. Might have had an issue. Jake is up into the top 10 now. And then you've got the drivers that have had problems. Guy in 11th, John 12th, and Hobo 13th. As Honey Badger gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Corner cutting is the only thing I can see. As Bossman speeds in the pit lane. Drivers having issues as Ryan sliding sideways. He's got Frog putting him under so much pressure. And this is where tyre wear is now going to kick in, and I think this is where Ryan is struggling with this tyre wear, as he's slided all over sideways. Krog wants to have a look up at the inside, and he does, gets the gap, and Ryan's trying to hold it on the outside. Krog gives him just enough room, and he's through, and you've left again. Yay. Internet connection! As Guy gets another penalty. Why don't just keep on popping up? So, there we go. So, looks like going to be by myself for a while. As Honey Badger still has the lead. Ryan was the company inside of Krog there, running a little bit over the curbs. So Floodlines has now caught this top three, and his sort of decision now is: do you pressurize the top three, or do you just stay where you are for now, wait till the pit stops, and then make your move? With these front four, and there's a 5-second gap to 80s in fifth. And Floodlines has got himself a corner cut penalty there for that previous corner. Although Hungary is quite interesting on the track limits, you've got to be very, very careful with it. As we carry on with this race. 2 Williams in 6th and 7th, fast part time in 8th place to score a point in this championship. Can today be his day? Despite everything, a few drivers having a lot of problems and the lobby not exactly at its best. But we carry on regardless. Master Krog now in 6th place, is pressurizing Honey Badger. Doesn't really need to do anything there, he's on the soft tyres. Just needs to stay where he is really, but he still wants that lead. Eddie now has a look on the inside, was nowhere near done. Floodlines is now putting Skyline under a bit of pressure for 3rd place. Of course, if the Haas car is in a brilliant position so far, as Honey Badger locks up his tyres, goes wide at turn 3. That'll give Master Krog possibly an opportunity to have a go. Again, tyre wear for the Haas drivers must be kicking in right now. On lap 9 of this race, and again, when he goes wide, he's got to pit the end of this lap. He's losing way too much time. Ryan must be the same as well. As Honey Badger defends on the inside, Krog is just measuring him up, just not looking for a move at the moment. Manny, meantime, as Don gets a penalty, Manny, meantime, has made his way past his teammate, probably team orders there, but maybe HLG let him through. As Honey Badger, again, he's struggling so much with this tyre. The Master Krog's on the inside now, surely he's going to be through. Yes, he is, and he's up into the lead. Now, surely Honey Badger is going to dive into the pits. He's jumping all over the place, and that's not lag, that's tyres. Tyres having problems, and in he goes. And Ryan pits as well. That's a disaster for the Haas. They're not in communication with each other, and that is a double stack, I'm afraid. And Honey Badger sped in the pit lane. He didn't slow down in time, and this is going to be absolutely disastrous for Ryan, really, because he's now going to wait. I feel sorry for him, but it's communication that you need to have with your teammate, and that's the reason why. Honey Badger, well, the tyres have gone weird. There you go, you could see that just for yourself. As Ryan goes onto the soft tyres, Honey Badger stays on the super soft. Good thing for Ryan, he's still in the points. He's come up just ahead of the Sauber, and he's not going to be very happy at all with that. Let's have a look at this. So Krog now leading the race on his soft tyres. Floodlines chasing him down, but the problem with Floodlines now is his tyre wear is now going to start kicking in, with him being on the faster but less durable of the tyres. But a few stories, there as Skyline gets a penalty now. There might be a few position changes by the end, but just be aware, guys, by the end of this. As we carry on regardless, as we go down to lap number 11 to see what the fastest lap is. And it is a 21.9 by Master Krog. He's definitely got everything sorted with this track, it seems, even on the slower tyre. Fastest guy on the track at the moment, only just ahead of Floodlines. The Floodlines have obviously had to sort of recover, I think, from the first few laps. Alright, so is there any battles going on? Floodlines second, 80s in third. Actually, let's go to the pit stops, because a few drivers have pitted. Honey Badger is the first of those that have pitted, and then it's Ryan, and then Dom in an effective third, but obviously all the guys in front yet to pit. Maddie, HLG, both on the soft tyres. HLG's dropped off a lot from his teammate. It says his teammate spun sideways. Matty's into the wall. No, that's terrible. He's hit the wall and it's slid sideways. Unless he can recover from that, but that is not great at all. And he's dropped back. Honey Badger's in sixth, as I said, has already pitted and he's coming up to the back of Matty GB now. Skyline is in 7th on the soft tyres, just pitted. Jake is in 8th, he's yet to pit, but he's on soft tyres, he can go quite a way. Geikonitz is in 9th, he's had some troubles today, as has Bossman in 10th. Dom has dropped now at the points after pitting twice. Oh, that's just a shame, but he can still try and get it back there to get into the points. He's desperate to score a point this season. I hope he does that one point. As Joan is in 12th and Hobo in 13th. Let's drop up to the front, because I believe that Bossman has just, well, Matty and 80s has just gone into the pits. I believe Floodlines just pitted as well. So Krog's now leading HLG in second, 13 seconds behind the leader, as HLG gets a penalty. Cut that in, because if you do go over that curb, obviously full front, it's a straight up penalty. But yeah, there'll be a few position changes by the end of this. There we go. Way to get past him, that's actually so given, but Honey Badger is slow. But Floodline's obviously gunning for the championship. It's been into the top 3 really, with Balltown, Frantique, and obviously them two. Very unfortunate, obviously, for them. Not even doing the race. Frantique retiring, hitting the wall. As Floodlines now has DRS on the back of Honey Badger, despite the slower tyre, and it's going to be up into turn 1. Locks up the brakes. Yes, it does. The Honey Badger. Yay. So Honey Badger obviously doing a different strategy to all the other front runners. Still might be on course for a podium. That'll be his first podium of the league, actually, if he stays there. Obviously, way to go. We're on that 13 of this race. It's quite interesting. But hey, Master Krog now leading the race from 14 seconds over Krog. Obviously, his gap is going to be between, I believe, Floodlines. Yes, because Floodlines is the highest of those that have stopped. So let's see how far Krog can take this. He goes through. Continues going onwards. So HLG there, he is in second place. See how far you can go. Floodlines, Honey, is there any battles on the track? Bossman is behind Dom. Actually, Dom has got past Bossman. Bossman is actually on the medium tyres and may go to the end of the race, as Dom in front gets the penalty for going over the curbs too much. But Dom is in the points. Can he stay there? That would be a good thing, as Floodline sets the fastest lap of 21.2 on the soft tyres. So he wants to get the undercut on Master Krog, the leader. We'll see what he can do from there. Matty GB has just got past. Guy has gone flying on the inside of contact. Serious contact's being made. No, bit boisterous as a migrating host. Where are you migrating host? Why are you migrating host? You got that as well. Yeah. Because Ryan has left. Ryan. Yeah, he's left. Left as Guy on the inside again. Very loves his dive bombs, I think, and Matty is trying to retaliate back. There's a little bit of interesting wars going on here now between the two of them, and Matty, that is not a place to pass. He's getting very frustrated. There's a bit of argy-bargy, I think, between the two of them.
Box in the pits.
So I don't know what's happened to Ryan. He might have just lagged out completely. He's got no front wing. He's got no front wing on the front of his car. So...
Says he's sick from mine.
Yeah, well, he's in 7th on my one. But unfortunately, that I believe maybe his race over. Krog has pitted and has now come out behind Floodlines. So Floodlines has done the undercut, but Krog, interestingly, got onto the super soft tyres. Obviously, those won't get to the end, so he's obviously pitting again. Very aggressive strategy. I think both may need to pit again. So interesting little differences with these tyres going on between everyone.
He's just got a 3-second penalty as well.
Yeah, he went over the curbs there a bit. I did say earlier, Craig, there is going to be a lot of position changes, I think. There's penalties galore all over the place. As Honey Badger got past. I completely missed. How did I miss that?
I don't know, it just kind of lagged quickly and then he was ahead. I don't know what happened.
There's the camera angle going on a bit. As Krog is looking up on the inside. Honey Badger did not go through the corner very well. He's back up in the 2nd place. So, missing changes. Not really doing themselves any favours if they are battling, because Floodlines is just gained about a second on the two of them. So, not the best.
Surprised there's quite a few 3-second penalties popping up.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. This guy and Maddie are still at wars, and Maddie's on the grass. Interesting between the pair of them. I didn't see what made Maddie go on the grass, but they were together, and there were argy-bargy between the pair of them. A few interesting going-ons there. Jake Piper's doing very well in 6th place. He's yet to pit on his tyres. Taking those soft tyres 16 laps, that's quite a lot. But he did start off with tyres in his cars. His car's ridiculously jumping about, so... Our HLG's just gone slamming into the wall, mine. You can see it on my screen, gentlemen. You can see what we have to cope with.
I didn't think it was the Jake Piper on my list, actually. What place is he in?
He's in 6th.
This is Guy Cunnington's in 6th on mine. Oh my days.
It's not great.
Yeah, Jake's 10th on mine, sorry, yeah.
Oh, he's 6th. He's 6th on mine.
Oh god, I just have to go with what you say then. Mine's messed up.
Yay. I mean, obviously, the host has left, so let's jump to whoever, and that could be exactly whoever. So, but it's been laggy from the start. It hasn't been that great. But
yeah, not at all.
Obviously, we continue on as Floodlines puts a lap on the so Skyline. That is a shame, because he was doing very well, obviously leading the race at the start through interesting circumstances. As Jake Piper gets speeding in the pit lane, he's finally made his pit stop and did not slow down. There's been quite a few of those, actually. The 5-second speed in the pit lane thing. I haven't seen really about this penalty, as Matty has... Well, he's got past Guy Cunnington. Might have used contract to get his way through. There's what? Oh, Guy! What on earth? What on earth was that?
Oh, what happened?
No, I've just seen an absolutely diabolical move from Guy Cunnington there. Matty GB is retired. I do not blame him.
He's out.
That was... well,
did you record that?
I'm gonna have... I can't, because stream won't let me, but... Well, that is...
Where did he dive? Where did he make the move? Or try and make the move?
He was at least 4 or 5 car lengths back, at least, into turn 2. And he barged his way through. He was nowhere
Surely
near.
he'll get a penalty.
He was nowhere near. And what I think, because I've been watching these two for a while, for the last couple of laps, and there's been moves from both. I mean, it kind of started from Guy diving at the penultimate corner from quite far back and making contact. it was rude, but it wasn't, you know, it's not something to retaliate back. And obviously Manny's done that because they've been chopping and changing, and I've gone back and forwards to them. Every time I've seen them, they've been either making contact or doing ridiculous moves, and that has ended in tears actually. And it's something I'm going to have to get both of them in and explain themselves. Because obviously it's resulted in Matty... Well, it's obviously resulted in Matty retiring like that. And I don't know the full story because I've only seen parts. But I saw the end of it, and that is not great at all. But we move on from that. We'll obviously have a word with them. So Floodlions now has dropped Honey Badger. Honey Badger's dropped quite a bit of pace on there. I think he may be happy with a podium, and who can blame him really? But Krog is looking obviously a lot higher than that. He's now minimised the gap to Floodlions. Let's hope, with everything that's gone on today and messages that have flown to me, probably because of rage and all that. I don't know because I haven't checked them. Let's hope we can have a good, clean battle between these two. I expect a clean battle from these two. These two are very respectable drivers. I haven't really seen them in any troublesome so far in this league, so let's hope for a nice clean one. And Krog has brought it down to exactly a second. Obviously on the faster tyre, different strategy going between the two. I believe both may need to pit. Well, Krog definitely needs to pit again, obviously.
I think Lies will have to stop again as well.
Yeah, but obviously Krog will have to go on the soft tyres, I believe. Unless he can take those to lap 23. Unlikely, but if he can get them to 23, 24, he can maybe stretch out a super soft stint. But interesting between the two. Who's going to blink first? But Krog is going to have the DRS. He's nowhere near really for moving into turn 1, but he can get closer with this first DRS. Get closer with this first DRS as Dom again gets a penalty. You're in the points, Dom. Stop cutting corners.
Yeah,
he's 37 seconds ahead of the guy in 10th.
Surely he's going to get points, but I might probably just jinx him.
Actually, no. Thinking about it. No, he's a minute ahead of the guy who effectively is 11, which is Hobo. Come on, Dom, you can get points, just finish. Why am I so... I'm not biased, honestly. I just want him to score a point. I mean, we have had a few notable DNFs for reasons that are against or out of the power of those particular drivers, so you could say that. But you've got to be in it, you've got to be surviving and all that. So, and that's what he's doing. So Krog again, going slowly. Obviously the race winners between these two. Honey Badger has pitted. We'll be going to the end. Maybe 15 laps on softs. Could be quite interesting. But he's relinquished the podium. So I've noticed HLG actually is catching 80s for a net 4th place. It's good for HLG. 4th place would be good for him if he can get that, obviously. And Krog again getting close in the first DRS, not close enough to make a move. But again, the second DRS gets him even more close. But he can't really run in the dirty air of these cars nowadays, especially in Hungary, because it just causes you understeer, really.
Oh, definitely.
It is a shame because obviously in the olden days you could get right up behind somebody and have no effect whatsoever, and it was brilliant back then to see. But obviously with these aids to try and help overtaking, some of which have made it more difficult because of, you know, aerodynamics and all that. I'm not going to speak technical all night, but we all understand the problem.
Yeah.
But obviously Krog looks a lot more confident because he's on the faster. I don't know why I just sounded American just then. What on earth? Yeah, he's on the faster tyres, so obviously he's more confident with the grip and all that, especially for that middle sector. But it's the only way he's going to overtake is into turn 1, and he said hugging the apex, brilliant line. He's got to get as close as possible to Floodlions, and look at that line there. He's going to get a good exit. Didn't really. The white line kind of didn't really help him. I can see what he's trying to do, but trying to extend the straight even further. It's getting closer and closer. But that wide line that he took hasn't really helped him. So Floodlines stays in the lead at the moment. Bit of jumping, bit of lag. He's within 3 temps now. Now Floodline's car might be jumping up backwards and forwards. Oh, and yeah, got put off a little bit, so he went wide of that really fast left-hander. Couldn't do it. So I'm going to check my messages now. And I believe they are just recordings. Yeah, I believe they are just recordings being sent to me. Okay. I'll see that. I'll see that afterwards. I was a little bit spread out, but that's because of various strategies going on. Oh, and Krog. It's that initial fast grip that you get from these super softs is just worn out now, I think.
Yeah, I think his tyres start to go down a bit now.
Yeah. Obviously being in the early air of that McLaren in front of him. Not really helping with that. Let's see what the time is actually. 8:15. Okay. 45 minutes until quiz time. I might stream it, I'm not sure. Might stream it, can be quite nice. And again Floodlines, that very initial grip that he had before, as he's following Floodlines, is not there, and he's struggling to try and keep up with Flood. It might be a time for another message. Here we go. Okay, yeah, he not happy. He not happy. Right. Quite interesting. So, and Jake Piper's managed to get past Part-Time. Part-Time is pitted. Going on to the soft tyres. Nice helmet, actually. Interesting. Got spots on it. More than enough time to Guy in 9th. He's got more than enough time over Joran and Hobo. So fast Part-Time, as long as you finish and do that. Where's Flood? Oh, Floodlines is pitted. Is he pitted? One stop. I'm not sure Floodlines is pitted. I think he's made a mistake. I don't know whether he has. It says... Oh, maybe not. Yeah, the leaderboard jumped up and down again. Said it was in 7th, so I was like, why are you down there? And then it's gone back up to 1st. Ay, ay, ay. We are still going round. HLG, another penalty. As the race keeps on going on lap 24 now, about 10 laps to go. Still the fight reigns on between these two. They have 18 seconds over the battle for 3rd, which is Hades, HLG and Honey. And I think it might be just HLG and Hades, because Honey Badger, he's a pit stop behind. Obviously he's made a pit stop to go to the end. So that could be right there. Dom is behind these sparring leaders a lap down. And I think Krog is actually taking these tyres for another super soft stint, Craig, because... Well...
Yeah.
What was that?
I think just my phone.
Fair enough. That was loud. And in my ear.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I. There'll be many things tonight that I haven't really expected, and it's happened. I'm just going with it. So, any other battles going on? Jake and Bossman on the medium tyres. Bossman's been on those mediums for so long. But they could get to the end as Hobo's retired. No! And he's in the
everyone's
wall.
going to get a fight now.
Oh, safety car. Anybody? If a safety car happens, that could be quite interesting. I do think that could be... There's jumping up and down cars. That is such a shame for Hobo. Up there in 11th place. So everyone's now pitted. Flood and Krog have pitted. 80s. 3-second time penalty, please. Everyone just sit down there. No safety car, which is interesting yet. Floodline's got sped in the pit lane. Oh, that's going to happen massively. Does he get out in front of Krog? He does. But that penalty that he's just received from getting into the pits, that is going to hamper him massively for that. HRG, I believe, has pitted just as 80s is pitting now. So is HRG going to do the undercut on 80s? 80s is just going to come out of the pits. It's going to be quite close. Let's have a look. There's 80s just coming out of the pits now. And there's HRG. He's into third. He has done the undercut. Brilliant stuff for HRG. He's into third place. But can he hold off 80s for that last podium? Of course, you've got Honey Badger there on soft tyres, interestingly. The guys ahead of him are on super soft. So there are the battles for you at the moment. Obviously, we've got the race leaders stationary, but that penalty for Floodlines, he's got to absolutely put his foot down. But obviously, Krog has got a couple as well. So
I know he's got one. I know he's got 1 3-second penalty.
Yeah, he's definitely got one at least. So we'll see how the position change. But Floodlines has definitely put his foot down. He's gapped Krog a little bit on this lap. And 80s is going to be all over the back of HLG. He's got to be careful because HLG's car hasn't exactly been stable today in this race. So he's got to be careful with this. I hate being behind laggy cars because you just don't know what they're going to do. So I can feel 80's pain as he goes into here, into turn 1. Has a look, but HLG is obviously wise to that. Doesn't want to defend. You know, 80's was too far back really to have a go. I'm keeping an eye on the top 2 if they get anywhere closer than a second, but Floodlines is flying away a tenth every time it updates itself, so he's flying. Might be going for fastest lap as well.
Well, because he knows he's got that penalty, he knows he's got to really push to get the gap.
Yeah, of course. And 80 is much better through that time. Oh, he's having a look. Wise of it. Being very smart about this 80s. I think he knows he has the pace over HLG. It's just wait for the move to pass. Don't do any risk maneuvers. It's a very wise head on this guy. And again, he gets a much better run out there. Floodlines does indeed set the fastest lap, but that's a lunge, that's contact, that's no, you're not keeping that. And he feels that he should. I'm afraid not. I'm on to you. That was, no, I don't think that was a very good manoeuvre from 80s, I'm afraid. Let's see if HG can retaliate. It was just a lot of contact, no space on the outside, just didn't give any defense ready for HLG to, you know, retaliate on the exit. And
yeah.
I'm actually surprised he's not even letting HLG through, but obviously we'll have a look at that. It smells many other things in this race.
There's going to be a lot of things to look back on.
Jake Piper and Bossman, the guys in the Mercedes, are fighting over 6th place. Jake, that's a double. Oh, come on. Triple move. What are you doing? Oh, these guys are disappointing me. I'm saying it now. I'm not liking this for any of them. Not all of them, but as Jake, oh, he's at the curb. Can Bossman have a look? Yes. Capitalise, lifts the room. Jake is jumping up all over the place. Jake is going to retaliate into the next corner. contact. Oh. His car is not... That is not brilliant at all. Maybe I just dropped back. HLG's car is now jumping all over the place in the battle for fourth. In fact, HLG's jumped well back. He's made a mistake. And this lobby's just gone to pot. There's various cars that are just almost unwatchable, and it's obviously putting off the drivers. Not great to see, but we've got to push on as in fact Bossman has actually got damage, probably from Jake's car. He's in the pits. That is such a shame for Bossman, because he would have got some solid points. In the meantime, Krog is up behind Flood, and I think Flood was maybe held up by Guy, who's gone on a lap down. He's let the leaders through, but I don't think he's done it very easy, because the gap's jumped down from 1.7 to less than 5 tenths. And now Krog is putting Flood under a lot of pressure. Justice or not, he's going to take the opportunity, because that's what you're going to do. And Floodlines, can he sort of recover from, obviously, I don't know whether Guy did, but it's just they were with him and the gap has dropped suddenly. Krog, be careful with your track limits. And I'll say that, he's just got a penalty for it. There you go. I said be careful. He wasn't. He gets a penalty. There you go, he gets another one. So now it's definitely a question of who has the least amount of penalties between the two of them, but they're still going to fight as if they don't have any. Honey Badger is caught within a second of HLG, who's been ruffled, I think, from the pass by 80. It wasn't really a pass, it was a bumper car pass. That's what it was. But Honey is looking for 4th place. These two, Floodlines and Krog. Obviously, it's been not the best of races. It's not been the best connection, and we've had problems with the start of the first races. Honey Badger and HLG are fighting between each other. HLG's car is going ridiculously all over the place. Probably the reason why.
Is Jake actually 3rd or not?
No, he's 7th.
Let's change back again.
In fact, his car's just... It's Jake and HLG really the most that are doing it. Sorry guys, message.
Oh, Guy coming to his left.
Yeah. Hang on guys, I need to send a message here. Right, sorry about that guys. Let's do it. Whoa, as Jake is sideways there. We've had a lot of penalties. It's not been great. It's not been great as a spectacle.
No, it's been hard.
There's been a lot of problems. Well, for me, there's only been HLG and Jake that have been all over the place in terms of, you know, the cars are just jumping sideways and all that. HLG, his car's always done that. His connection's never been great. But Jake as well, and just in general, there have been some moves which I am angry about them, but I'm disappointed as well, because these drivers are not normally like this. And there's been a lot of contact, dive bombs, and issues. There are things that have been said, you know, behind the scenes that aren't exactly great. So yeah, it's fast part time, letting the leaders back through. He's actually up to 6th place. He's on course for 8 points.
Go
He's
on,
yet
Dom.
to score a point this season. I don't think he scored a point last season either.
This would be like a
And
victory
he's
for
on,
him.
he's on course for 8. I mean, granted, there have been a lot, and I say a lot of problems with people disconnecting and lagging out, retiring under various circumstances, but take nothing away from him.
It's still be his first points. Can't take that away from him. So.
No, never can. He never will. Never take that
You know,
record of any points
He's
in
just
the
getting on
league.
his own business and all that. So.
Who has the fastest lap actually looking at it?
Floodlines,
19.6 for Floodlines, yeah, it would be. Would be there. So, let's take stock with about two laps to go. Floodlines currently leading the race. Now, bearing in mind, there may be a few position changes because there are penalties and they're still popping up at the screen.
HLG's just got one now, so when you're talking about it.
Yeah. There are a few penalties that may drop positions, so I understand that. But Floodlines currently leading the race over Krog. Them two have been battling strategically over the two. And obviously Floodlines, he had that little bit of a scare when Krog was near him, but he seems to, he seems to be in control. Whenever the gap seems to come closer, he gets the gap up. And obviously depends whether he has more penalties than Krog at this point. Krog in second has done a very stable race. Been up with the front runners. I mean, obviously he'll be very happy. In fact, him and Floodlines will be very happy because of their title rivals falling to the wayside in this race, unfortunately. Obviously, the question would be if Bortel, Frantic, and maybe the likes of Maddie hadn't been in their issues, where would they be in this race? But still, can't gloss on that. You've got to go and whatever the result has happened, and that's the way it is. 80's in third place. That's been in around there. Decent qualifying, obviously. There is that move, which I'm debating about. And obviously I will review that over HRG. Which obviously that will be a talking point, but third place for him. I believe would be his first podium as he, wow, goes very wide in that corner there. HRG in fourth. His car's... HRG in fourth. His car's been jumping sideways all over the place, as he normally does. But he will be solid enough for fourth. Honey Badger was on course for a podium, but he's jumped back with strategy and issues. He's in fifth. Dom, as I said, on course for his first points. Jake in seventh is battling with Bossman, or I think he is anyway. Guy in ninth and John in 10th.
Floodline's just got a 3-second penalty.
He has, yeah.
That could really change it.
Oh dear, on the last lap
really
as well.
Change it, wow.
On the last lap as well. He did not want to do that, I don't think. But he's on the last lap. Indeed, obviously the positions change straight away, and obviously that means the time penalties are there, and we shall see. I hate it that we need to decide on whether you got time penalties or not, but that's just the way it is. That's the way it runs. But Floodlines, we'll see whether he gets the win. Obviously, when he comes round the final corner, he's winning provisionally. That's what matters. And he crosses the line now, and he crosses the line to take the victory, does he?
No, Krog's got it.
No, he does. Oh my goodness
Just. If he didn't get that
Wow.
penalty right at the end. Oh, wow.
Yes, that penalty on the last lap has cost him by, well, the slimmest of margins, pretty much. Krog takes the victory.
Yes,
from...
my record driver wins. Yes.
Only just as brilliant. 80's is going to come home in third. He's very happy with that. Obviously in third place. HRG is going to come home in fourth. Well, obviously if he may have penalties or not, does he keep the fourth place? Because we've got Honey Badger right behind him. Says he's won. This is not true. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's fine. Jake Piper has already crossed the line because he was a lap down in 6th. Bossman in 7th. And I believe Dom has crossed the line in 8th. I believe he does get his first points. I think he dropped it down to 8th, but he was 6th initially. So we'll see. But Joran is going to be the last person to complete the race distance, and obviously all the results will come up and we'll run them through. And take a deep breath because that was all over the place and not very helpful. But Joran crosses the line now. Says he's 6th. No, it's not. He's 10th. I'll just run them through. He's 10th. There we go. My voice is very dry. 91 minutes of the stream is absolutely fantastic. We got there eventually.
Yeah,
there has been
finally.
issues. There has been problems. There might be a few changes before the next race, but Krog takes the victory. Not provisionally, but from a penalty that Floodline's got on the very last lap. He'll be kicking himself for that. Well, the slimmest of margins by the looks of it. Takes the victory. Floodline's in 2nd, and AD's, I believe, his first podium of the league. Gets home at 3rd place for Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso, I don't think actually have had a podium yet this season.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, good stuff for them. There's a new team on the podium, and there we go. Penalties.
19 penalties.
Gee, 19 seconds as well. But there we go. So Krog takes the victory into the Red Bull. Floodline 2nd. AD's 4th. HOG, I think, will be happy with that. 13th to 4th is a good result. Honey Badger in 5th. Jake Piper from 17th on the grid to 6th. Is a great performance. Bossman in 7th. Dom gets 4 points. Yay.
Hooray.
Yay for him. Guy Cunnington with his issues in 9th place. And Joran picks up the last point. My head hurts. And for many reasons that my head hurts.
I was confused for most of that race. My head doesn't hurt.
It's just... Alma sent me a message. Probably going to say woo points. He said meh. You got your first points, man. You should be over the moon. Why are you just saying meh? Oh, the messages are all over the place. Do not use that chat. Right, let's get them into the party. Let's try and make sense of all this. Or at least try. Right, where are we? There is a lot of things I need to sort out. I don't want to sort them out. Master Krog. Blood. ADs. I invite the top 3 to the podium and get their reaction. They're probably just as confused as everyone, as me and Craig here, but we'll see their reaction and see what we can gather from that race, which was just... You know, we had problems. Join the party, please. We have something. Yay. 1 does it. We have 2. We have 2. Can we have 3? Can we have 3? Can we have 3 people, please? That would be very helpful right now. I need something to work. I need something to work. I want ADs. I want ADs. I said I wanted ADs! Why? No! Sorry, pretend. I don't think he's going to join. Yay! Something happened. Yay! Something right happened apart from everything else. But yay! Right. Well, let's carry on. So, after that race, we know it had its problems, and drivers that were in here, we will discuss those. Trust me, we will. But this is not the place, so please refrain from doing that. Put a tick next to your name if you want to be heard. But we go through to the first place winner. Surprisingly, actually. Surprisingly, actually, because of penalties which everyone got by the looks of it. But yes, you take the 25 points after a race-long battle with Bloodlines. Obviously, strategy with your tyres was getting through there. Yeah, you must be happy with that, considering your rivals, unfortunately, had their issues.
Yeah, it was a good race. First win. It's just a shame.
Oh, he's lost connection.
Oh.
Should we start again? Should we start the qualifying session again?
Frog. Can we